Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Kenya.
Welcome to the This and That Chat. Hola.
Hello.
So I saw that somebody retweeted something that Netflix had said in 2017.
Okay.
Netflix said, "Love is sharing a password."
Ooh.
It's come back to bite them because this morning it goes in. They started rolling out what they said on December 23rd that says Netflix will end password sharing in 2023, affecting 100 million users. The person who retweeted it just put, they lied to us. We've been betrayed. What do you feel about that?
I just counted back and I'm shocked at the fact that it's been 7 years since they said that. A lot happens in 7 years. The ideals of a company, and I mean, can you even see like what it would become, the problems that they would run into, the money, obviously. Everything always goes back to the money. The money they're losing
Well,
in
think
new
about
subscriptions.
it. You have 100 million users that now have to subscribe.
Well,
What's the cheapest Netflix?
I think it's $9.99 or $6.99. But it's with ads. So now they're introducing ads, which Netflix has never had ads
let's
before.
say it's $9.99 on an average for 100 million users at $9.99 at $10 a pop. That's a lot of money.
Of course. And somebody realized somewhere, hey, we're losing out on all this money. So I'm interested to see how they're going to roll that out here for us, because I know that they started doing that in other countries. And I'm interested to see
It's $1 billion. $1 billion.
Yeah. Just in that alone. Rough estimates.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm wondering, the standard household, let's see if we're going by, what is it, 2.5 kids? Is that the standard, right?
Yep.
So you have to assume that you've got your spouse, assuming, right? Your significant other, and let's put 2 children. You need to have at least 4 passwords that you could share, right?
No, it's not. That's not the way it works.
Or 4 accounts that you could have.
No. The password, the account works based on one Wi-Fi.
And that's what I'm saying, because right now you've been able to share your password on any Wi-Fi. But what happens if I'm on a business trip and you're home and you're watching Netflix and I'm on a business trip and I want to watch Netflix as well? Are they only going to give you this like one time you can share to somebody else?
There has to be something else to it for them to know that you're part of a certain household.
Right. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to say, you can keep the people you currently have on there. We're just going to give you a little upcharge of $5 per line or whatever to avoid the $9.99 per subscriber.
Well, what they might change is $9.99 gives you 2 users.
With ads.
Right. And then $19.99 gives you 4 users. But still, like in our own house, we have TV in the living room. We have
the movie room.
The movie room. We have the one outside by the jacuzzi.
And we have the guest room.
The guest room.
And soon the office.
Yeah.
Because there's a TV going up on that wall.
Right. And then each of our devices. How do you calculate that?
Same Wi-Fi. So probably you can have multiple because that's what happens with DirecTV. I've tried to share the login for DirecTV to my dad, for example, so that sports or whatever, right? and it will tell him he can't access it because he's not on the home Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So that's how they know. My thing is, what if you're traveling and you're on some other Wi-Fi? They've got to be able to at least give you one.
There's got to
There
be
has
something.
to be something, because I think, well, let me not say what I think, because I'm going to go back to something else that I saw yesterday. Somebody had Disney, Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Paramount, Peacock, Showtime, Stars, just to name a few, right?
Mhm.
And it was all like two pictures. Like half of the picture was that, and on the bottom, it said cable TV, right? And it was all of that, same price as cable TV. And on the bottom, it said they lied to us.
Mhm.
And I was thinking, at some point, someone, consumer-wise, didn't see this being a thing, because at first, I think Netflix and HBO and Stars and Showtime have always been around.
Right, an extra
Right?
subscription thing.
No, but I'm saying they were there on cable TV,
Right.
and you always had to pay extra
for it.
right? So when they split off, maybe you're like, because I don't ever remember watching a lot of stuff on HBO at all.
No.
Showtime, Stars, nothing. Even when it was, you had the Showtime preview weekend or something like that, there was never anything on there that was like, wow, we really should pay for the HBO subscription. Nothing. Okay. I think it was when Game of Thrones came out that was
That's when
everybody
that
really
was when
wanted to watch
HBO
HBO.
That's when HBO started their biggest push for the app.
And people wanted it because they wanted to watch that, right? But then streaming became something else, because while I never would have wanted HBO before, really, right? Now you've got a show like Friends that can only be watched on HBO. Okay, so there's no other streaming service that has Friends. You like Friends? You need HBO. So now they've gotten other things like Warner. Everything that's Warner Brothers is on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
So all these movies,
I would say the most rounded one right now is HBO,
for sure,
because they have a lot of the nostalgic stuff, right? And they did a really good job of putting together a desirable subscription.
right.
And then you've got,
and they were the highest subscription.
Right.
Of all of them, they were the highest, and people bent over and paid for it.
Right.
Okay.
And then you have
Netflix is the next giant, I would say.
Yeah, but then what I'm saying is that then you have Peacock. We have Peacock.
But they're babies. They just come on the scene.
I know, but the only reason why they are even alive and around is because of The Office.
True. And
because they bummed it off these other people.
Right. Right. Well, and another thing that's really big right now is Yellowstone. And Yellowstone, so funny enough, right? Yellowstone is a Paramount. It's a Paramount show. Okay. But Paramount doesn't have the rights to it. Someone dropped the ball big time there, okay?
No, they didn't.
Peacock has the contract.
Of course.
Okay?
Listen, all these guys are in cahoots.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
You've got to be able to separate yourself.
Come on. Think about it. Look at Peacock. Okay?
But I haven't explained. So first, let me explain, and then you tell me how this is all in cahoots,
go.
Okay? So there's two other shows that are connected to Yellowstone to tell you the backstory of Yellowstone. 1883 and 1923. Those are exclusively on Paramount. So now you've got the shows that go with Yellowstone, but Paramount doesn't have one episode of Yellowstone available.
I may not need to explain anything. You're doing it. Go ahead.
So now, if you want to watch Yellowstone, you have to watch it on Peacock. And then if you want to watch the other ones that go with it, you go to Paramount. They said that they're in a lawsuit, according to the article that I read, right? because Paramount wants to move it to their thing because it's their show, right? But Peacock said, no, we were given the contract and we're going to keep it for however long it is until I guess their contract expires or maybe Paramount pays up. Who knows? So
So
someone dropped the ball there.
so you and I have something that everybody wants,
Okay.
but you have part of it, and I have the other part,
Right.
right? Why would I not say, "Hey, listen, I know you guys are the babies on the scene, so let's do a win-win situation. You have part of it, I have the other part. You're gonna make money on your part. If you don't want us to come after you, to take it away from you, throw us a bone. I'm sure there's money behind the scenes. There's money that's being passed around. Now you've got both of these guys that are making money on it.
Okay, but hold on. Because I feel like the story you're telling me right now is the same thing that used to happen with, and I forgot what channel it was specifically, that was always up for contention with between Comcast and DirecTV. There was a channel that we would watch, and I don't think it was a local channel. I think it was one of those cable channels, and it would disappear, and all of a sudden it's not available. They lost the contract in DirecTV.
Was it Discovery?
No. I want to say that it may have
Who
been
also
a
has an app?
sports- Who also has an app?
Oh, Spike TV.
Was it Spike?
It was Spike TV.
Okay. And so sometimes we couldn't get. So then we used to have it. Now we don't have it. So now everybody's switching over to the other one if you want it, right? But it was annoying because they were always in this dispute. So to me, it sounds like, are you saying that they were also playing the same game, or that was
No, that was broadcasting rights. Because the DirecTV or Comcast, they weren't going to make money specifically on what was being sold or watched on Spike. It was just the right to have it on their channel lineup. But I don't understand why they just didn't have it on both, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, when it comes down to it, every single channel that was popular with cable, because you had I remember calling the cable company when we were looking to, let me see what your deal is. I would always say Nat Geo needed to be part of that, or Discovery Channel. You wanted for us, we wanted Spike TV because it was where we could watch Ink Master, but literally that's all.
And UFC.
Ah, that's true. And UFC has its own
And
app.
UFC has its own map app. Yeah.
So.
But see, this is so where I was going with this when I started this was the whole sharing password thing. Because I know that they know that there's password sharing all the way across the board. Because we have access to all of these apps, but we don't pay for all of them. Because there's other members who give us passwords for us giving them passwords. So what's going to happen when that ends? We're going to have to pay for it all. Because we're already used to it.
So I'm going to break something to you right now live on the
Oh,
chat.
God, help me.
Okay.
No, don't say it.
Okay. I will say it then.
Don't say it. Are you saying we are paying for all of it?
I want to know which one is it you think we get for free?
Are we paying for all of it?
Yes, babe. I'm sad for them. They're the ones who are going to find themselves with having to pay for everything. Once upon a time, we pay for everything.
We pay for all of it.
Yes.
How much comes out of our account every single month? Is that what all those little $5.99, $6.99, $9.99? You're so like, those are Amazon stuff that ordered coming in later.
Except that it says Paramount Plus, Stars, HBO. Yeah.
You and I are going to have a conversation after we're done.
Offline.
Because we're going to need to figure something out. I'm canceling DirecTV today because we don't use
No,
it.
no. Excuse me. We have had this conversation forever. Why do we have DirecTV
Hold
if
on,
we
but-
don't need it?
But
And
no, listen. So I left it because I thought the people were helping us on the other side, and I'm over here just finding out
Hun, but
that
the-
I'm getting
but the truth of it is-
destroyed every month.
the truth of it is,
You know what the sad
we
thing
don't
is?
need help.
Hold on.
That's the truth.
Hold on. You know what the sad thing is? That there are listeners on here, and you know who you are, that is mooching off of us. I cannot believe this.
And they're probably laughing about the fact that you just now realize that.
Well, they just now realized that the password may change.
Yeah, they know. They know. We have already had this discussion.
I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
And then you do it so sneakily.
No, it's just I'm hearing you say, "Oh, you know, blah blah blah," and I'm thinking, yeah, but that was years ago. Years ago, when the whole app started coming out, that it was like, "Oh yeah, do you have access to this?" Yeah, we'll give access to this.
We don't
And
watch
we
that
have
much TV.
What are you talking about?
We have our shows.
Yeah.
Do we need all these apps, or are we just paying it for other people to use it?
So I'm thinking that there's probably an app or two that can go because I don't think anybody uses them, to be honest with you.
Which one?
Nah, like Discovery. I like
Discovery?
to pop on Discovery like when I'm doing homework that doesn't require my attention, more like I'm,
Just having it in the background?
if I'm filling in the blanks, let's say to something I'm copying like that, right? Because a lot of times we write stuff for school and then you just have to recopy that into a document, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like because of the animal shows. My dad uses it. Yeah. There's some
Okay.
that are like that.
Hold on. So I'll put this out there.
Yeah.
If it's something that we're paying so that your parents can enjoy it, I'm good.
Oh, there you go. That's all of them. Minus
I just
HBO.
shot myself in the foot.
No, HBO can't be shared. But see, they stated it from the very beginning. They stated you can only share 3
But see,
accounts.
I don't mind paying for HBO
no.
because I know that we use the heck out of HBO.
Right.
Especially like now, like we're starting to go back through some of those shows. We just watched Big Bang Theory completely. We're going through Sopranos right now. What's the other show that's on there? Well, we just went through all the the Batman movies. So we were able to see all the old ones.
I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, like
Everything's on there. Yeah, HBO is a good one. Netflix is a
they
good
sell
one.
themselves. They sell themselves. Hulu's another one that is.
Hulu's really good.
And Hulu is
And CBS, the CBS app,
Paramount.
is that Paramount? Yeah, that one's good because of Survivor.
Well, and Big Brother
Big
and
Brother.
Amazing Race. So they all have their things. Some are definitely more watched than others. So if say we were gonna do a cleanse, there are some that we could get rid of but see, that's what I like about all these apps, right? Minus Disney. Disney's another one that we have that we don't actually use as much.
Yes, but it has all the Marvel.
Right.
So there's enough in it that we have to hold
That's
on
what I'm
to it.
saying, right? So, and right now, Disney's part of the bundle that we have with Hulu and ESPN.
Which is actually a really good bundle.
Yeah.
It's like $14 a month.
Right.
Yeah, I can't complain.
That's what I'm saying. So, bottom line.
But we did take off the moochers that we had that were straggling.
For ESPN.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because every time we would go on there, because we wanted to see something,
Yeah.
it was saying too many users were on.
Yeah.
So I was like, that one I knew
And
that one I knew we were paying.
Right.
So I was like, knock their asses off.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But bottom line is interesting that you would say that because with all the other ones, we've never come across that problem.
Right.
Although I don't know if it was
We upgraded.
Sal.
We upgraded Netflix.
No, honey, no,
Didn't we? Didn't we change Netflix when the kids moved up to Orlando?
no,
Do the kids have their own Netflix?
no.
So then,
Netflix upgraded us without telling us anything. All of a sudden, one day, there's a $19.99 charge from Netflix. And I go on there to find out what the heck is going on. What is this? And it says, "Dear Netflix user, we know how much you enjoy high definition shows and no ads. So as we're transitioning to new packages, we just went ahead and just transitioned you to the top of the line."
yeah, the one that fits your needs best.
Yes, exactly.
Because
thank you so much,
because we
Netflix.
know you.
Thank you so much, Netflix. Okay. And they just did that. And guess what? We never changed it back because I went back to change. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, but it wouldn't work for us.
Hold on. It wasn't even about the users.
Could you imagine us sitting there watching TV, looking like if we're looking through a piece of plexiglass?
That's what I'm saying. $6.99 ads. $9.99 not does not support 4K TV. And guess what is everything that you see now? Everything's high definition, so it was standard TV. Who wants to watch TV like that? They knew what they were doing. And they did it to your face is the thing. They didn't even try to stab you in the back. They did it to your face. And you said, "Thank you."
We got Caesared.
Oof, that's a terrible thing. What does that even mean? Tell me. Oh, like Julius Caesar? Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. My physics professor says something about that is just, it just took me right back to his class. So,
Can we talk about that?
no, let's not.
Not yet.
Let's not.
Would it be later?
Yeah, I think so. After I have my diploma in my hand.
Okay.
Let's do it then.
There
We'll have a smorgasbord.
you go. A what?
A smorgasbord.
It's not a Schwarmesburg.
What is
Borg.
it? What is it?
It's a smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord? It's not shawarma and
No,
board?
shawarma is the Mediterranean.
Dish with a lot of different things in it.
No. Shawarma is like a gyro,
That has a bunch of different little things in it, right?
but it's like a pita sandwich.
So it's like
thing.
a shawarmasbord.
No, it's a smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord?
Smorgasbord. Look it up.
What movie am I thinking where they use that word?
Charlotte's Web.
Ah, you're so good.
Anyways,
Shawarmasbord. Does not
it's
understand me.
smorgasbord.
But how would you spell it?
I don't know. Smorgasbord.
Schmorg.
Hey Siri, how do you say smorgasbord? It's asking me what language I'm speaking.
Wait.
Hold on. Hey Siri, can I get the
Schwar-
definition for smorgasbord? Here we go. See?
Wait.
It's smorgasbord. It's SMORGASBORD. It's a luncheon or supper buffet offering a variety of foods.
Hors d'oeuvres.
It's a smorgasbord.
It's a wait.
I wonder if they have a way, like, here we go. Come on, Siri.
Smorgasbord. Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
Oh, it's smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. See, I said it was bored.
Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
No. You're saying it wrong.
I'm not the one saying it.
Smorgasbord.
Look, listen.
Say it.
Listen.
Say it.
Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. Smorgasbord.
No.
Okay, hold on. Smorgasbord.
Look, we're gonna do it slow.
Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
There you go. Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
There you go.
There we go. See? And that ends our session of English pronunciation with Peter and Ketmia.
Whoa, that's so weird. So I just, you know how
I'm about to
Google,
sneeze.
bless you.
Why would you do that?
Listen, you know how Google gives you all these different questions that people have asked and you can click on the answer? Someone said, how do Swedes pronounce smorgasbord? On the bottom, it said, es un orgasmo. Es un orgasmo.
Yeah, that's a different subject.
And it's Spanish, not Swedish.
What were we talking about? We were gonna go somewhere.
A delicatessen after graduation.
No, there was something else.
Yes, that's
Yes,
why
I
we
know.
talked about that.
But I was going somewhere and then we got deviated. And
Oh,
then,
the Caesar.
Oh,
You said Caesar. That's where we
yes.
were.
Okay, I'm back. So,
Amazing how you can do that.
yeah, thank you, Blue's Clues.
Yes.
So-
I think we've said that already.
Yes, we have. Okay, so last episode, we said that we would kind of catch people up a little bit. So I feel like we need to do that.
Okay.
So it's been a few months.
It's been more than a few months.
It's been a few plus months since we had recorded before we released an episode last week. And it's literally because it's been so incredibly hectic and busy. And it's
And
like,
you lost your passion for it
why do you always blame me?
because you're the one who has to set up.
You
You're
mean,
the one.
you mean it's been sitting here set up
Exactly.
for 6 months. So all you need to do is click on the button and
And
start
who invited me today to come record?
it. Me.
And who invited me last week?
Me.
So
So who lost the passion?
very, very
Who
different.
lost the passion?
You just got it back
Did you invite me?
so many times.
No, you didn't.
So many times. And you were like, not feeling it right now.
Oh.
It's my only day off. But we were all busy. It's true.
Oh. How
You
quick?
didn't think I was going to
How-
call you out like
no,
that. That's
no.
okay.
Listen, I'm just not going to say anything to you because whatever.
You did not think I was going to do
No,
that.
I just need to shut up.
Oh, my God.
It's the same thing. I had to do the same thing last week. I was like, it's my day off. I got to think about this.
Oh, yeah. Look
Tread
at that.
lightly. Yeah, here we are.
Look at that.
Welcome to my life. It's been hell the last 6 months. Send help. Send help. Okay. Anyways, so
A lot
A lot.
happens. So much. See?
a lot.
If so much can happen in 6 months, which actually I think, yeah, you're right, 6 months. Imagine what can happen in 7 years, since Netflix said sharing is caring.
Do you know what happened 7 years ago? Yesterday.
Okay, you are the only one who keeps up with this stuff.
7 years ago, yesterday, exactly to the day, was the day that my mom went into her coma and spent the 21 days in coma.
Are you for real?
7 years ago.
Are you for real?
Yes.
Because I had not ever connected the fact that we bought our house the same year that happened.
What do you mean? Remember we had to put off our vacation?
I remember we had to put off our vacation. I don't remember that we bought the house the same year that happened.
While we were on vacation, I was on the phone with the people the people that were giving us the bank and stuff, and we were like, yeah, I'm working because we weren't supposed to be spending any money anywhere outside. You don't
See,
remember
the
this?
only thing that I remember of that year was that happened and our vacation was postponed and the guy from the VRBO was so nice and all that stuff. And he worked with us the whole time. He was amazing. But that's all I remember. Right now that you're saying that,
Same year.
I can't believe that.
Crazy.
This is a very big year. Wow, so yesterday, what was yesterday? Yesterday was the
The 20th? I don't even know what year we are in. The 21st, yesterday.
so she went into the hospital on the 21st.
She went into the hospital on the 21st, and my dad called me that morning and
Hold
told
on.
me,
So I've had all of this mixed up because the night we saw your mom, right? The day before this whole thing happened was for your dad's mariachi birthday that they had. But his
No.
yes.
it was the week before. My dad's birthday landed midweek,
Okay.
right? So my mom did the party on
On
the
the
weekend.
of course. But
Right.
this would have been too late.
No, it was pushed because something had happened or whatever, and they had pushed it.
Ah.
So it ended up being a later time
Later.
frame.
That's
And then
why
a few days after that, my mom was at work and she wasn't feeling well. And then my dad took her to the urgent care. And the moment that she came into the urgent care, they called an ambulance to take her to the hospital emergency. On the way to the emergency room, my dad calls me and he's like, "You need to get down here. Your mom's really bad. She's really sick." And in the time that I left work, drove to the hospital, walked into the ICU. I came in, I saw my mom for 3 minutes, and doctors came rushing through the door, emergency, to put her into a coma, like a medically induced coma, because she only had like 3% lung capacity.
So you saw her in the ER.
I saw her in ICU. They had already moved her up into ICU. So it was a very, very quick process. And they took my dad and me out of the room and didn't tell us what was going on. That's how crazy that was. And in those 21 days, everything that happened the way that it did, the doctors were telling me that there was, to start making plans because my mom was not going to make it out of there. And then they said that they were going to bring in an experimental machine, okay, that to this day I still call it rotisserie because they've stuck her in there and the machine would twist and turn and angle up and down to get all the fluid out of her lungs. And then 21 days later, or 18 days later, she was in the coma 18 days.
Yeah, because I think they said that at 21 days they had to do a tracheotomy.
Right. So at 20 days or something, it was like the day before.
Yeah.
And they were going to do a tracheotomy to try and see if they could see what they were going to do. And then all of a sudden, it's like a complete reversal. She spent a month and a half in the hospital. And yet, here she is.
Fully recovered.
Fully recovered.
Which they said was not going to be the case.
Yeah. So, with that said, we can kind of lean into what started the last 6 months of craziness was my mom had a hip replacement in the summer. And
it went sideways.
Yeah, it was a disaster. She got a really huge infection from the surgery, which ended up creating just the craziest of situations where my parents, who don't live in South Florida, ended up having to move in with us and stay with us for 4 months until the infection was under control, and they had nurses coming to the house, and everything was just completely upside down because we had to essentially reorganize the house so that my mom could make it around in a
Accessible.
walker and, just make everything happen the way that it needed to be so that, she could, recover and whatnot. And on December 23rd, she got her operation to put in the hip replacement again because they had to take it out and they put in a spacer just to hold the space until her infection was gone and whatnot. And really, I think that's when we kind of started to come back to normal because it really was
Well, it's also in the middle of school.
right.
So from everything else that we've talked about school, the closer you get to the end, the more it becomes.
Right.
You know?
And that again, like I said, that was the beginning of like when everything just became so difficult to get anything done because my dad was here taking care of mom all day long, but at the same time when we get home we were making dinner and we were trying to help whichever way that we can. Plus you had physics 2 in the middle of that, and you had a couple positioning classes that were extremely difficult. And there were days where it was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and you were in the office studying. And everything was just like really thrown for a loop. We're grateful that everything is okay. And we're grateful that we had the space to be able to
Right.
do everything. And we were able to, we were able to make it through it. But it was a really hard time. And, we were able to get through to the end of December, and I think our vacation in December came so needed.
For many reasons.
Yeah.
I think it was just a break from the entire year. It was also it was 3 weeks for me. So for me, it gave me a chance to see my family 1 week, to spend time with our kids and just us, another week. And then there was a week at home for myself,
Right.
so for me, it was just a break that you don't even realize that you need until you're in it. And then I felt paralyzed for the first couple of days. One of my classmates, she was saying that she spent the entire week laying in her bed like a potato. That was her description, right? And I can totally understand. She said it was not like, oh, I'm going to do something. No, it was just this exhaustion that you have.
We had a couple potato days.
Not enough.
And not enough. I would have taken that whole week.
And let me tell you, vacation was very relaxed.
We had a very different vacation this
Very.
year than we did the previous year. The previous year we stayed somewhere where we went out to Tennessee and we drove out to
A mountain.
and we did thrift stores and we did a waterfall and we did this and we did that.
It was
We
very
were
full.
Very full. We enjoyed it. But this year we were like, we're going to go thrifting one day. And we went to one store and then we were like, let's eat lunch and go home.
Yes. And the thing is also, that was before I started the program. So we had not, that vacation was not.
Because you were doing prerequisites.
Right. And the prereqs, the hardest part about the prereqs was the anatomy class. That's it. Everything else was flowing. I was still able to do stuff at home. I was
Right.
at home because all the prereqs were online. Most of them were online. So we didn't even know what we were getting ourselves into. So that vacation, there was space to be going around and being busy. And this one, it's just like, even yesterday you said to me, I think that when you're done, you're going to have like a month where you're just like in this catonic state.
Yeah. And like we're looking forward to it because it's been really exhausting. This week, part of the smorgasbord that we'll have after the diploma's in hand, but like this week there was a day where I had had enough, Katmia had had enough, and it was just like it overflowed, and we were just like can this thing be over already? Because you don't realize how much of a disruption to normal school has been until you say, okay, enough. I need 5 minutes break. And I think the intensity at which January came back, because you had 3 weeks off, because we had that week off of and like my business, thank God, has been insanely like stacked with work, to the point where I had to hire another guy. I had to, like, there's been a lot that has been really good, but at the same time, it's all coming at one time. So it's like this huge flood of emotion and stress and everything that's going on. And then we're looking at a finish line in 2.5 months. Well, 3.5 months, right? Because you got a month where you have to do your studying and stuff for your board. But finishing off these next 2 weeks, you go into night rotation, which I can't think what that's going to be like, because I'm going to come home and you're not going to be here, And the good thing is that you did get lucky and you have a night rotation that gives that you're going to be out 4 days and not 5 days. So that's going to help. But I'm just excited that it's the end. I'm sure you are too. So
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things that I've realized in the last couple years, you know how much I love learning about myself, is that I had never connected that there's when I feel like I'm backed into a corner or I'm very overwhelmed, there's an overwhelming feeling that I have to run. Like, I want to escape. It's the only thing that I think about, right? It doesn't matter where. I don't know what that's going to solve, but it just feels like I want to run.
mm-hmm.
A physical need to go away, right? And in the last 2 years, that's something that I've now noticed has been, okay, when things get to a certain place, I feel that overwhelming need. And I have to, in a sense, talk myself off of that ledge. Walk myself through, well, what would that accomplish? Your problem is still going to be here when you get back. All that stuff, and sort of come down off of that ledge and keep pressing forward. So I have a lot of resilience, right? But that resilience comes from an outright willingness to be resilient, because it's not my first choice. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the last time that I felt like that was this week, when you said where it was just all too much. I just wanted to go. I just want to leave. I just want to quit. I just want to drop everything, because it just feels like, is it all worth it? In the end, is it all worth it?
It is.
Perhaps that is the story that people get to say at some point, but to other people,
when you're done, because it's that saying of hindsight is 20/20, right? So you have to go through, and not to be cliche and use whatever, but it's got to go through. You got to go through the fire to be refined. And
I understand that, but not everything is refinable.
Okay, I can see that.
Because I can see how.
But you're obviously refinable, because the last 2 years has shown that. Except now, in the last 2 years, you've been shaped to now take form, and now they're sharpening. And the sharpening sucks.
Yeah. I'm just saying, how there's people who just are completely driven in their career and they're thinking this is for our future. I'm putting in all of these hours now so that we can have blah 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 in the future and all that stuff. And in the end, you get there and you're all by yourself because you lost your family, you lost everything that was important at some point to you, and then those people look back and you have to answer the question, was it worth it? So there's that. I feel like that's, for me, that's the thing that I am is always at the back of my mind. Is it worth it? When I get to the end of this, is it worth it? Are you going to have a career that you can work on? Sure. That's not what I'm asking. Is it too much? Did we put ourselves through too much? Did we light too many matches and turn ourselves into ashes?
I'm going to say no. I think it's just something so different that we've done. And to be clear, school wasn't the problem this week. A situation with school was the problem. And that's what created this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I can see what you're saying.
But the whole school thing, I don't care. Here's the thing. I don't care if you are working on your school stuff from 5 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. If you say to me, hey, hun, I got something really hard to do, and I need to work until 10 o'clock tonight. Because then I prepare myself mentally to do something else. I'm okay with that. I will survive. But at no fault to you, we were in our time that was separated after you had given me, hey, I'm going to go till 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I did what I needed to do to get to 8:30.
Right. Ah, wow. I just had like this thing just hit me right now where I just realized that you experienced what I experienced way back in the day when we were on our way to the zoo with the kids and you got a call from your boss that he needed you to go to work.
Yep. It's the reason why I so much wanted to get out of it.
But I'm saying that was one of 1,000 different instances where that happened. And I feel like now you got to walk in my shoes in that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that
Absolutely.
was the worst for me. The worst for me.
Well,
so that's why when you said, I'm sorry, I was upset, it's like, why?
Well,
you have every right to be upset.
To be able to wrap this up, and this is where we're going to end, I need to encourage you to make sure that you finish. Because now that I found out that we're paying for all the subscriptions, you need to go make some money, okay?
You should clarify. For anyone listening, you should clarify.
What should I clarify?
That we don't need anyone to help out. Stop laughing.
I know. Okay.
No, I just love the fact that you're so innocent. I should have left you with that, but it was just too good.
Thankfully, yes, we are able to take care of it and not have to worry about needing the help somewhere else. But I truly, honestly thought that there were a lot of password sharing happening.
So sweet.
So I was blindsided.
Yeah. Good one.
Anyways. I think that catches us up. Yes?
I mean, barely, but sure.
Well,
it's
it got us to, it got us to here.
Yeah.
Next week, we did get a new toy we love.
We did?
Yeah. Our jacuzzi.
You see what I'm saying? There's so much stuff that we haven't caught up.
We'll talk about the jacuzzi next week. How about that?
Okay, sure.
Maybe we will do our podcast from the jacuzzi.
Yeah, that would not work.
No?
No.
Electronic stuff in water?
No. People would hear the bubbles.
Oh, they would hear the bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be no good.
No good. We'll talk about it, though, and let you know.
No, we already talked about it. We got a jacuzzi. The end. What else? What else is there to say?
Jacuzzi stories.
Jacuzzi stories.
Yeah.
What jacuzzi stories?
I don't know.
You haven't fallen?
No.
Nothing has happened. What stories? What stories?
We got a week to think about one, okay?
Wow.
We'll share something.
Wow,
we
I
will share a jacuzzi story.
I don't even know how to
Don't
end
look
this
at me.
right.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I feel like in
I'm
your
getting-
mind there was a whole
listen.
podcast set up around the
No,
jacuzzi.
There
and
wasn't. That's not what I was
There's
saying.
nothing to say.
What I was saying was we could talk about the jacuzzi. Maybe it'll take a 30-second little spot, but it doesn't matter. It's just the point that, listen,
No, I already know I'm starting next week's
no,
podcast. Go
I'm
on.
not talking to you. Maybe next week she won't be on here, okay? Whatever. Anyways, join us next week. See what happens.
Don't forget to tune in for that jacuzzi story.
Yeah, whatever. Bye, guys. All right, see you next week.